Hi everybody, I'm Jamie Meyer, and I just wanted to put together a little instructional video about working with your drumstick. A lot of people have their drums, a lot of people have made their drums, and I'm actually making this video because we just had a drumming workshop where we made drums, and the sticks that usually go home with people are typically kind of like this. They have a leather head. They have some padding underneath, but it's leather, sometimes suede on the outside here. And I just want to let you know that a lot of the sound that comes out of your drum is determined by the stick. The type of sound that comes out of your drum is often determined by the stick. So this leather beater, when it hits the drum, and hopefully you'll be able to hear this through the YouTube and things like that. When this hits the drum, you'll hear a very high kind of clicking sound that's part of the drumstick. So you hear that snapping sound at the top. That's because of the beater. That has really nothing to do with the drum. And I've just known for a long time that my personal choice is I like a softer sound, a little bit more muffled sound in drumming, particularly if I'm drumming for one person or a couple people or a small group, like a drum journey kind of thing. So I use this stick, which actually, to be honest, I'm not even sure where it came from. I found it in a pile of sticks at a drum circle. Somebody left it years ago, but I've used this as my primary stick. You can see it's just a wrapping of wool. It might even be synthetic wool. Who knows? It just might be some kind of weird fabric that looks like wool. But it's just wrapped around the stick and then glued. It's very, very simple. But you can see that it's really soft, and then the beater itself is also very, very soft. So when I play with this, and I hope you'll be able to hear, there's no high clicking sound from this stick. So I like that sound a lot, and I've found as I've talked to drummers who've made their drums and things like that most people, I think, like this softer sound, and they don't understand that it's the stick that often comes with their drum that is creating that high clicking sound. So you might want to have more than one beater. There is an advantage to the leather beater in that if you're drumming for a big group or if you're outside where it's harder for sound to carry, that high kind of thwacking sound, actually it carries a long way. So if you're outside, you got a big group and you're the lead drummer for a drum circle, that high thwack actually can be heard by a lot of people, and it can help people stay on the beat. So it's not like it's a bad or a good thing at all. I want to show you just a few more kind of incarnations of drumsticks. These are some that have been made by other people, and maybe you'll be able to see the one that was made by me, the blue one on the end. And it's actually a pretty decent beater in terms of if you're looking for a soft beater. It's just an old shirt. I think it's not even a t-shirt. It's some kind of shirt that I use as a paint shirt or something. And I'm like, oh, I need a soft beater. I couldn't find my soft one. So I made it just by wrapping the shirt around the stick. And I think I tied it on, maybe even with a rubber band or something. But it's really soft. So you can take a listen to this. So you can see that has a really different sound than this. So that's one idea I wanted to give you. I also wanted to tell you one other thing about drumming on the drum. Drums, really every drum has three general areas of sound: the very middle, the very edge, and the area in between. And when you hit at different areas, you're going to get different sounds out of the drum. Again, none of this is good or bad, it's just the sound. But I want to show you just a little technique if you're using your drum for guiding drum journeys. A lot of people will hit in the very middle of the drum. And you get this, what happens in the middle of the drum is you get the lowest timbre of the drum, the lowest frequencies, and it can be a little dead sounding, which is okay. If you move in towards the edge, you'll start to mix in the high frequencies that come from the side, the low frequencies that come from the middle, and you'll mix them in the middle. This is sometimes called the sweet spot of the drum. That's where you get the most sound out of your drum, is halfway in between. And then if you move all the way to the edge, you'll get almost all high frequency. And there's some high frequencies on the edge of the drum that are so high you can't really hear them. You can, if you really, really concentrate, you can sometimes hear just this very high kind of whining sound. And that's just, there's a lot of frequencies coming off the drum skin at any given time. Anyway, during a drum journey, one of the things you can play with is to start the drum journey like this in the middle. Play that for a while, you know, whatever, a few minutes. But you can kind of change the feeling of the drum journey by moving to the edge. Or by moving to the center. So I don't know if you can hear that very well through this video and things like that, but it's an idea you can use. I do want to caution you a little bit. You know, it's not your job when you're leading a journey to try to make things happen, but sometimes I find there's just can be, I don't know, follow your intuition. There can be a reason to move the drumstick somewhere, change the sound a little bit, but always, you know, remember that it's not your job to make things happen in the journey. Anyway, I hope these ideas are helpful for you in your drumming life, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.